What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching today, baby. All right, guys, today I want to answer the question, is Sublocade a miracle cure for opiate addiction and withdrawal? Question mark. Well, let's discuss, guys. Before we get into the video, I need to let you know that I am not a doctor and nothing on this channel is medical advice. So if you are struggling with addiction, please seek out your own medical doctor. Okay, guys? All right, so I've seen this question, I've seen this comment, I've seen other people make videos. Well, I should say Luke make a video on this. Shout out to Luke. And I've just seen the question, the comments of things along the lines of, is Sublocade a miracle cure? I've heard some people say yes it is. And so I wanted to kind of give my thoughts on that statement. So, as you guys know, I was an opiate addict. I was stuck in opiate addiction for many years until 2017 when I found Suboxone, right? And then I was stuck on Suboxone for many years. I tried tapering. It was a major pain in the butt, as many of you can probably relate to. Trying to get off of Suboxone is certainly one of the hardest things, probably maybe the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my 40 plus years of existence. So I've done a lot of hard things in my life, but tapering off of Suboxone was extremely challenging. You guys seen me taper down to 3 milligrams first, then 1 milligram, and then down to a quarter of a milligram. And even when I jumped off of at a quarter of a milligram, it still had a pretty decently hard, it was still a hard withdrawal, guys, as you guys seen. And you guys remember that from my old school people here years ago when I did that and documented that here on the channel. Fast forward to 2022, I found a doctor who was willing to go off-label, and what I mean by that is personalizing my Sublocade starting dose, because for many years before that, it's been said that you couldn't get on Sublocade unless you were on a high dose of Suboxone, right? So I was pretty much just feeling like, dang, there's this super awesome medication that I think could really help me, but I can't have access to it because it's like I was being punished because I tapered down to a lower dose of Suboxone. And that really sucked to know that there was this awesome medication out there that could probably help me, but I couldn't get access to it, right? So there was that. And I think there was also a part of me that was, deep down, I was afraid to give up the little, I'm going to be careful with my choice of words here, the little positive feelings that I would sometimes get from using Suboxone or taking maybe a little bit more than I really actually needed. There was like this underlying issue that was built inside of me that remembers the first few times that I took Suboxone, right? And I did catch a really strong buzz from it the first few times. And so once I experienced that, it's like my brain always kind of knew that if I got wild enough, I could probably replicate something similar to that, right? It is known that Suboxone is a heavy-duty medication. It's a strong medication. It's a life-saving medication for many people. It did save my life, for sure. But it is a strong medication, and it's hard to taper off. We all know this now. Hopefully, if you're watching this, hopefully you know this. Darlene, I guess, didn't know that. She jumped off cold turkey at 16 milligrams. Whoa. So hopefully most of you guys watching this know that to jump off of a cold turkey Suboxone like that is extremely, extremely unlikely that you will be successful in doing so. But some people have done it, just not very many. So I wanted to talk about that for a minute, guys. So fast forward 2022, I finally got on Sublocade. I started at 150 milligrams, which was just half of the 300 milligram starting dose that most people start at. My doctor achieved that by squirting out half of the shot before he gave it to me. Not a big deal, right? Not some rocket science that he had to figure out how to create my custom dose. It's literally just squirt out half of the medication. Because the 300 shot would have been too strong for me because I was tapered down to a lower dose, right? In fact, I actually brought my Suboxone dose up, if you guys remember, to 4 milligrams before I switched to the Sublocade shot, okay? So we did that so it wasn't going to be such a shock to my system and like overload my body with bupe. So long story short, that transition dose was like right on the money. So we nailed the transition dose, as you guys seen. I kept my Suboxone around because I was afraid to let it go, right? I had that lockbox for the first month. And within that first month, there was a few different times that out of curiosity, I wanted to know what it felt like to take Suboxone. I kind of maybe missed that feeling that I would get once it would kick in every day, right? There's something that's called the Sublocade void that I just kind of recently came up with. Are you really ready for the Sublocade void? And what I mean by that is, are you ready to feel normal and stable on a 24/7 basis? Because that's what Sublocade feels like. You no longer have the highs after you take your medication, your Suboxone for the day, and you no longer have the lows. You don't have the stuff going on all day. Sometimes I say all day like it's just doing this all day. But basically, when you take your Suboxone dose, it kicks in within an hour, hour and a half, and you get a feeling from it. Most of you get energy from it. And then you feel the sensation, whatever you guys feel, you feel that drop off. And then for me, I always felt like, oh no, that feeling is going away. You know what I mean? Like, don't go. Like, almost like something's missing as the dose wore off throughout the day. So I don't know if you guys can relate to that. That's how I felt for many years while I was on Suboxone. So, all right. So I tried. Let's see. So I told myself the first day that I got my second shot, I knew that I would still have some from my first shot in me, and then I would have that second shot then supply me. So I was like, okay, the first day I get that second shot, I'm gonna burn all my Suboxone. You guys seen the video that I did? If not, it's labeled "Goodbye Suboxone." You're welcome to search it. I took all the Suboxone that I had, I threw it all on a fire and burned it all up. And that was a very, very freeing day. That was a very freeing night. That feeling to where it was just like relief. Like, I don't have the option anymore. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to stress about it. I don't have to think about it. It's no longer the little devil on my shoulder chirping in my ear all day like it was before, because I had a whole bunch of it just chilling, right? So once you burn the boats or burn the Suboxone, it's no longer an option. And then for me, that's what really started to rewire my brain to get out of that. Oh shoot, I need to put something under my tongue every day just to feel normal, because it wasn't an option anymore. So it was about 14 days, 10 to 14 days after I burned my Suboxone, to where my mind stopped thinking about it all day. Like, there was like that void feeling. That void feeling totally went away from there. And things really, really were awesome for me. You guys hear me say sometimes that what I considered the Sublocade honeymoon period. And for me, that was like months 2 through 4, 5, 6, somewhere around there. We'll just say 2 through 6, where you've got this whole new freedom. You don't have to dose yourself twice a day. You can simply go in for a shot once a month, once every other month, a 5-minute shot, and you don't have to go pick up your prescription and keep wrappers around all over the place and all the hassles that come along with the daily Suboxone grind, right? I like to call it the Suboxone grind. Some people could just take their Suboxone and it's not a big deal to them, and they could just move on with their day, but it really wasn't like that for me. I was so OCD about my dose. You guys see me writing down every single dose that I took. How did I feel that day? How can I taper better the next day? Like, I've got years of books talking about my Suboxone tapering, how I felt, all the letdowns that I had in there when I took more, when I didn't need it, type of thing. So just a real big pain in the butt. Once I got on Sublocade, you don't have to worry about that anymore. Once you're on Sublocade, you're on autopilot, you're on cruise control. Let the medication do the work for you guys. You don't need to do that anymore. It's an expensive medication for a reason. So I guess to kind of bring that all back to, do I think Sublocade is a miracle? I don't know. But what I do think it is I think it's the best tool that we have in 2023 to help rewire your brain to get out of that addict mind thinking. To me, when I think of a miracle, I think of people who cold turkey Suboxone 16 milligrams like Darlene did. That sounds like a miracle to me, right? Sublocade Why I don't think it's a miracle is because, first of all, it's $2,000 a shot. That is absolutely asinine that they even charge that much. That's way too expensive for this little tiny shot. Like, I can't tell you guys how many running, driving, reliable cars I have bought for less than $2,000. And you're telling me that because I'm a drug addict and I want help, that this shot that can help me rewire my brain is going to cost more than a whole car that could get somebody to work every day? No, that sounds stupid to me. That is a ripoff. It's a ripoff. I'm sorry to say it. So, hopefully, if you guys are considering Sublocade, you have insurance that could pay for it. You could possibly check out the insupport.com website. Some people have saved a bunch of money by going there, and that's basically like an insurance copay assistance type thing you may or may not qualify for. I heard some people are getting some huge cost saving benefits and basically making it to where their Sublocade is very cheap for them each month. I am not affiliated with Insupport or Sublocade or any of these other companies or drugs that I'm talking about. This is just me sharing my experience. So that's my outlook on it, guys. I don't consider it a miracle. I just consider it the best option that we have in 2023. With Brixadi coming to our local market, I do believe that Brixadi is going to be even better than Sublocade because it's going to be cheaper. There's going to be more doses. It's less of a visual bump, if any. It might not even be visible. There's a few other things, many more doses available, so people don't have to like guess and shoot for the stars type of thing with like they do on Sublocade. So Brixadi is basically going to be like the newest, hottest thing on the market. You guys are going to hear about it a lot more here in the States. Over in Australia, they're using it already. It's called Buvidal over there. It's the same thing. So you guys are welcome to look into that. And yeah, that's what I think. I have heard some people label Sublocade a miracle, and to me, the word miracle, I'm picturing like God just cured you like that, right? Or whatever you believe in just cured you like that, and you're now good. With Sublocade, you have to do this painful injection and pay all this money, and you have to have a lump, and then it takes 6-12 months to fully wear out of your system in some cases. Like there's definitely some cons that come with Sublocade, right? The constipation, some people get headaches. It can still affect your sex drive just like Suboxone does. So it definitely comes with its own set of cons, but there are a lot of pros, definitely a lot of pros if you're stuck on the daily Suboxone grind. It's definitely something that can and will help you out of that lifestyle, but only if you're ready for it, guys. There are some people that have taken fentanyl on top of Sublocade, and that is just sucks that people are doing that. And I just definitely think that if someone's doing that, then they're likely not really ready at the point. Maybe they're not ready for Sublocade, right? They're not ready for the Sublocade void. They're not ready to feel stable and normal all day. And that's definitely what Sublocade can offer you. It can be a great way to help get you just feeling normal and steady like a normal person. And then when it comes time for the medication to wear out of you, it can do so over many months or weeks, right? So that's all I wanted to say on that, guys. If you like this content, please smash that like button and subscribe if you like. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.